Day 1. They stepped onto the ice, boots crunching, every movement echoing in the thin air. The outpost's doors yawned open, shadows spilling out. The team advanced, nerves taut, as the wind howled across the ridge. 6 days, said Lieutenant Voss, eyes scanning the flat, frozen horizon. Keep your heads, keep your guns, no heroics. The others nodded, faces pale in the blue light. The radio crackled, but nothing answered. They pressed on, weapons ready, as the cold bit through their suits. They marched through the snow, the ridge groaning faintly underfoot. Each step sent shivers through the crust, as if something ancient shifted below. Desi glanced back at the lander, its lights already dimming. The outpost bulk grew closer, its surface pitted and scarred by old impacts. The wind rose, shrieking between the metal struts. For a moment, it sounded almost like a voice. Day 2. Halden tried again, fingers dancing over the controls. The only reply was a faint, rhythmic pulse, almost like a heartbeat, echoing through the walls. The team exchanged uneasy glances. Outside, the wind battered the outpost, and the ice creaked as if something massive shifted beneath. "Comm lag," Desi said, tapping static from the receiver. "Or a solar bounce. Could take a while." She forced a smile, but her eyes never left the door. Brenner checked his weapon again, knuckles white. But deep inside the walls, the outpost throbbed. Brenner swore he heard it, something like breathing, slow and patient. The metal seemed to pulse beneath his hand, warm for a moment, then cold as the void. That night, the crew lay awake, listening to the hum of the outpost in the distant, unending wind. Day 3. The indentations were fresh, the edges sharp. Something had been watching them. The snow was undisturbed except for the tracks, and a single blackened claw, half buried in the ice. The crew retreated, nerves fraying. The outpost's lights flickered as they sealed the doors behind them. "Could be old mining bots," Halden said, voice thin. She tried to sound confident, but her hands trembled. "Bots don't leave toenails," Brenner muttered, holding up the blackened claw. The others stared, silent. That night, Desi reported whispers in the comm system. A voice, low and rasping, repeated the same word over and over. The static grew louder, filling the outpost with a sense of dread. The crew gathered around the console, listening as the word echoed through the speakers, chilling them to the bone. "Remember?" The word lingered in the air, long after the static faded. Day 4. They found his beacon, still transmitting, half buried in a perfect circle of melted ice. His helmet was shattered, from the inside out. Around it, markings like veins were etched into the rock, pulsing faintly with blue light. "We're not alone out here," Brenner growled, voice raw. "And this place wasn't built on nothing. They knew. They all knew." The others stared at the markings, fear settling in their bones. That night, no one slept. The outpost creaked and groaned, as if something massive shifted beneath the ice. Day 5. The team traced the carvings, realizing they matched the markings outside. The outpost's systems flickered, screens filling with indecipherable code. Desi backed away, whispering prayers. The hum in the walls grew louder, almost like a voice calling from below. "I volunteered," Halden whispered, clutching her datapad. "Because I heard it, years ago, through the code. Something under the ridge. It's alive, and it wants us to dig." The others stared, horror dawning in their eyes. Brenner snapped, smashing one of the walls. Beneath the metal, not wiring but bone, fossilized, huge and ancient. The outpost shuddered as if in pain. The team recoiled, realizing the truth. The outpost was built atop a grave. Day 6. The others froze, terror rooting them in place. The outpost's lights flickered, and the walls seemed to breathe. Desi's scream echoed, blood trickling from her ears. The comms filled with static, a chorus of voices whispering from the deep. Lights failed. Gravity flickered. The walls flexed, groaning under invisible pressure. Something massive moved beneath the floor, sending tremors through the outpost. The team huddled together, weapons drawn, as the floor pulsed with a slow, relentless rhythm. Voss made the call. "Override the power core. Turn the outpost into a bomb." "We're not leaving it a memory," she said. "We're ending it." "It wants to be remembered," she said, voice steady. "We'll give it silence." She set the timer, eyes shining with resolve. Voss stayed behind. She sent Desi and Halden to the ridgeline with Morel's beacon. Halden protested, but Voss only smiled, calm in the face of the end. 6 days is all we were promised," Voss said over the comm. "That's long enough." The others watched as the outpost's lights flared, blue and blinding. The outpost burned blue, The sky cracked, lightning arcing across the horizon, and Pluto Ridge was quiet again, the snow falling softly over the ruins. In the aftermath, only silence remained. The wind swept away all trace of the team. Epilogue. Day 1, Terraforming Cycle 0. The new team landed at dawn. Their shuttle cast a long shadow over the wasteland, where Outpost K7 should have been. Dr. Mara Ilyin led the group. 5 scientists, 2 engineers, 1 armed sentinel. Their breath fogged the inside of their helmets as the wind howled across the ridge. No ruins, no debris. Only a field of glassy frost, pocked with silent, perfect circles. "Seismic scanners are picking up a pulse," reported Cato the geologist, his fingers trembling over the console. 32 beats per minute. It's organic. Mara knelt, pressing a gloved hand to the ice. The vibration was slow, patient, like something breathing far below. She glanced at her crew. "Probe the site. Thermal drills, full spectrum. If there's something alive, we need samples." The drills bored into the ice, sending up clouds of crystalline dust. Beneath, sensors pinged off strange structures. Not rock, not metal, something fibrous, hollow. That night, the team's comms filled with static. Then a voice, faint, fragmented. "Remember." "Repeat that," said Mara, eyes wide, but the transmission faded. Only Cato heard the next part. A name, whispered in a language he almost recognized. Voss. The next morning, the ice around the camp was marked. Long branching lines like veins radiating from the drill site. No tracks, no heat signature. The engineers found a frozen badge in the ice. K7, half melted, fused with something that looked like petrified sinew. That night, the pulse grew stronger. The ground below them throbbed, echoing through their bones. Shadows flickered in the corners of their lights. The Sentinel sensors went blind. Mara recorded in her log. "We are not the first. Something remembers. Something is waking up." The entity beneath Pluto Ridge had waited. Now it was listening. The team descended into a newly opened fissure, light flickering on walls of ancient organic material. At the heart, they found the source. A vast slumbering organism, its pulse echoing through the ice, its form entwined with the remains of Outpost K7. Mara activated her comm, voice trembling. "This is Ilian. We have found the remains of the previous team. The entity is not hostile, unless disturbed. It remembers. It learns." The team debated. Flee or attempt contact. Cato reached out, hand pressed to the living wall. The pulse slowed, then steadied, as if listening. The entity's thoughts flooded their comms. Images, memories, warnings. Mara made the call. "We stay, we learn. We warn Earth. Pluto Ridge is not a grave, but a memory, alive and waiting." The team sealed the fissure behind them, their final message echoing through the void.